The brothers are driven. The brothers take chances, and that's why they're successful. But they did work for two of the most important entrepreneurs in Canada.
So Tony was Ted Rogers' trusted business partner in growing Rogers Media from essentially one radio station to one of the largest and definitely most diverse media companies in Canada today. Now, I'm never really sure which of the stories are true or which are urban legend, but they certainly are legendary, not just within Rogers, but in the media industry more generally. And I think it's particularly interesting that both he and Peter rose through the ranks to run two of the biggest media companies in Canada at the same time. You know, that's pretty unique and pretty impressive.
Peter, of course, was a longtime executive at CanWest. I actually sort of heard of Peter the following way. My father was screaming and yelling in his office in Winnipeg, in his home office, and he kept saying Viner, Viner, except there was a word in front of the word Viner that starts with an F and ends with ing. And he was screaming, ranting and throwing things at the wall. And it was all about the rebranding of CKVU TV in Vancouver that Peter had gone and done, and he changed it to UTV, and one of the most brilliant marketing moves in the history of broadcasting. My father didn't see it that way at the beginning, so that's kind of how I heard of this guy, Viner.
I think both Tony and Peter, everyone will say, have an amazing wit to begin with, and they understand the business, the broadcasting business, really well, and as a result, they know what makes it work. They're also great people to work with, and they're fun to be around, and they want to win.
Successful career with CanWest, Peter Viner has worked to improve and revitalize stations across Canada and Australia. Peter started out in broadcasting over 30 years ago. Since then, he's made countless innovations and advances within the industry that have earned him the respect and admiration of his peers.
Pete started at the very bottom. I started in the mailroom, if I remember correctly. So he was a guy that knew the business inside out. Had been around it forever, had grown up with the business, truly understood how the whole thing worked. So there's a huge value in that. He's a loyal guy, loyal to his team, loyal to his company, loyal to the standards of the business. So that loyalty, I think, carried him through a long way. And he's smart. He's just a really strategic guy about what's going on in the business, and could see all the angles and figure out where the leverage was and make the determined right call at the right moment.
He was an incredible boss, an incredible leader, an incredible colleague to be around. He was funny. By the way, he still is. I don't want to use the past tense here. He's funny, and he made hard decisions, nasty decisions sometimes, controversial ones, in a way that, again, got everybody laughing and feeling it was the right decision. To have the hard-nosed business qualities and the soft leadership qualities, I think is a very rare mix in an executive, and that's why he was so successful.
I met Peter in 1976 at Global Television. We had just come out of bankruptcy, and a new guy was appointed in charge of sales. So I met him, Peter Viner. I was in charge of the upstairs tape commercial department. And of course, sales were very important, and getting the right commercial on the air. However, there was one occasion where he did get upset, and that was when we overran a commercial, and it was for Dominion Store, mainly because of the meat. It was a special on steaks that was supposed to end on Friday, and we ran the commercial all through the weekend. So the phone was ringing, Peter was mad, he was running upstairs, his face was red, and he said, "What the hell are you doing, Bonner?" And that was the only time I really saw him get angry. The rest of his career, he was cool, calm, collected. They were lined up. They were lined up to buy steaks. And of course, the special was gone. We hadn't erased the commercial, and that was it, mainly because of the meat.
here he is, our new co-host, Tony Viner.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm liking this.
Whatever Mr. Rogers wants, Mr. Rogers gets. On Friday, the CRTC made it a final official stamped it, no erasing. Rogers now has ownership of City TVs across the country, including here in Toronto.
It's official. Congratulations.
We're thrilled. We're absolutely thrilled, Kevin.
So now watch what happens anytime we mention these words. Ready?
Yes.
Breakfast television.
I heard the sting.
Breakfast television.
So someone's got to be quick on that.
I like that. I like
That's right.
I like that.
Rogers eventually bought Maclean's. Maclean's owned the Toronto Sun. I was on the board of the Toronto Sun, and Tony went on the board of the Toronto Sun. So reacquainted on a business basis at that point in time. And you never worked with a nicer guy. I mean, he represented the company very well. He understood what the paper was all about. He understood how you had to get along with the existing shareholders and the existing directors, and the new directors were coming in from Rogers, and he was a bridge that was terrific to be with. Well, I mean, then I worked for him. He didn't like baseball. I mean, imagine being working for somebody who didn't like your product. I mean, he never understood the game. He didn't want to go to the games. He didn't like to pay for rights, so we never had enough money to pay for players. But at the very end of the day, there couldn't be a better person to work with.
Tony has that magical set of leadership qualities that would allow him to succeed anywhere. He's got intelligence, he's got charisma, he had a passion for the business, and he had real respect for the people who drove the business. Now, I'm not sure he was actually as funny as he thought he was, but his sense of humor did make him fun to work with, and he inspired people to do better every day.
I think certainly one of the traits that Tony has is being innovative. And that's probably best reflected in what he did with 680 News, taking a radio station that was making money before it became an all-news station, and telling Ted Rogers that it was going to lose $7 million probably in the first year. But in the long run, it was extremely successful, but a bit of a risk and a gamble that really paid off.
Pete was really inspiring to work for. He really made you want to do your best, not only for the company, but for him. You didn't ever want to let Pete down. He knew what you were capable of, and he expected nothing but that every single time. And that's a lot to live up to, but you feel really good about it when you pull it off.
He created a lot of great executives and great leaders, people who, whether they lead departments or divisions or entire companies, he taught people how to be an executive, and that is, and they went on to build things around them. So there was a real multiplier effect in what he did with people.
Peter has worn many hats in business and tackled many jobs. In my opinion, I think Australia was his greatest achievement, the most difficult. And giving up 5 years to work there, I think, was very important in his career. I owe my advancements absolutely to Peter Viner, because he asked me to join him in his various journeys around the world. And I thank him for that. It's been a great trip.
And to know Tony is to like Tony. And to be around him, he gets the best out of you. And that's something that not many people can do. To make you better, and he feels good about it. He's never looking for the limelight. He's not looking for the credit. Tony was always one of those people that, if he could be part of the success but take none of the credit, that made him happy. He could walk away with a smile on his face, a laugh, tell you I love you, and that's it. I mean, he's a special person.
Yeah, I think in terms of legacy, the legacy for Tony was taking what was really a couple of radio stations in Toronto, which was Rogers Media, when he started, and building it into a multimedia company over the years that he was here.
I mean, Tony is a legend in the media industry in Canada, and certainly here within Rogers Media, so I think he's obviously a fantastic choice to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. He's made such an impression on the industry generally over such a long period of time. I think he was a terrific choice.
Tony, Peter, I want to say one thing. This is equivalent of Cooperstown.
It's wonderful for the OAB to stop and celebrate these two outstanding men who have influenced and touched so much of our business over the last decades. Remarkable that they both came from the same family, actually, and they are both so much the same in some ways, but their leadership has touched so many of us.
Sorry I couldn't be there, Peter, but as you know, I'm playing golf in Arizona. Congratulations on your induction into the OAB Hall of Fame. Well done, I can't think of anyone that deserves it more.
Tony, I'm thrilled for you to be inducted into the OAB Hall of Fame and add this to your impressive list of career accomplishments. I miss working with you most of the time, but I'm thrilled to be able to celebrate this achievement with you. Congratulations.
Peter, congratulations. Thank you so much for everything you've done for the broadcast industry, for my family, and for all the people you've touched over the years. You're a world-class act. Congratulations.
Tony, congratulations. A wonderful honor for a wonderful person, and I can't be any more happy for something that you have done for so many people, not only in our company, but more importantly for the consumers and for the people across Canada and Ontario. Congratulations, big guy. You earned it.
Congratulations, Pete. You were such an inspiration, such a support, such an influence for so many of us for so many decades in this industry. Can't think of this happening to a nicer, a smarter, or a funnier guy. Pause up, Pete.
Tony, Peter, sorry I can't be there to share this honor with you tonight, but unfortunately, as you can appreciate, this time of the year, very busy, budgets and all, but I want to wish you all the best. Okay, are we done? Okay, did you guys get those tea times in Florida booked for November 6th yet?